Hi, welcome back. I want to talk today about why I'm not agnostic anymore. I feel like when I was young, I never went to church. I believed in God. I loved God and Jesus. And as life progressed, I've become abused in many ways. I became where I prayed and asked God and Jesus for help. I'm sure they helped me in ways that I didn't recognize. And maybe my prayers were answered in ways I didn't know they were answered. Coming to reality around the time I was, I can't remember the exact age where I become agnostic. But when I was 15, I attempted suicide many times. I didn't succeed. So when I was 16, I've had enough, so I was really going to make sure that I succeeded this time. The other times, I just kind of cut my wrist. And the first time was, I was trying to get my mother's attention so she would listen to me and see what she was doing to me and change and find better men and etc., etc. Then it got where I would cut my wrist a little bit more and a little bit more. It has never worked. So when I was 16, I had enough. I was with my second abusive stepfather. I never married, but I called him my stepfather. I don't know why. He was unworthy of the title. I overdosed. I took every pill and liquid that was in the house. And this includes a brand new jumbo-sized aspirin bottle that my mom had just purchased from like the dollar store or something. Still had the seal on it. And to give you an indication of how much pills I took, I had a windbreaker on and I filled both pockets full of pills. Narcotics as well. My mom was on pain medicine. I took those also. And I chugged like cough syrup medicine. And I had a near-death experience. And my mom, of course, called me stupid, sick in the head. I needed head help, etc. She put me in the psych ward. She even told the therapist there that he didn't know what he was talking about. And I was the reason why everybody was so mean to me, more or less, in a roundabout way. It got where I had enough. And I'm like, why would God allow abused people without any help in the world? Why would he allow animal abuse to go on in the world? I mean, people would abuse animals so drastically that they suffered greatly. Why would he allow all these bad things like murders and kidnappings and all that to happen in the world? So I become agnostic, and I was like, I don't know if I believe in God or not. I just don't know. Fast forward to March of 2020. That's when I had my awakening. One of my gifts that I have is knowing things without being told that are fact. And I just know. I have many gifts, and that's one of them. I absorb, or I'm fed this information, and it's a form of channeling also. But this information comes to me, and I just know that it's a fact. You know, hypnotizing people and their higher selves giving me this information also just kind of confirms. During my awakening, it seems as though I was given this information immediately, and things happened. That was a miracle, and still are happening. But what happened was, I didn't believe in God immediately. My reality of all of this didn't happen like immediately. My visitations did. They've always been around, but I've just begun to acknowledge, hey, oh my God, they're there. You know, what's going on kind of thing in March of 2020. The first time I seen them was when I was pregnant back in 1989. You come to find out that we, as souls, before we are incarnated, we do a contract. And I used to think that was just garbage people made up, but we do. We make a contract, and it's usually with familiar souls that we already know. For example, my mom and dad, my sister, my brother. I don't have a brother, but just examples of they're in this life right now with me. They will be in the next also. We will swap roles, but we will be in the same or the next life together. So we make these contracts. And we make these animals. Animals have souls. Animals have a higher self also. We make these contracts with them. So their souls and our souls all mingle. Say, hey, I'm going to throw this out there as, I never abused animals, but I'm just going to say, let's just say my last life, I abused animals severely bad. I mean, so bad. I killed them. I mutilated them. You name it, I did it. So when I died and I wanted to reincarnate again, I will communicate with a soul that I already know and say, hey, I did really bad in my last life, and killing these animals and doing bad things with them. Will you help me fulfilling my karma, or wiping out my karma of that? And then the soul will say, yes, I will be your dog or your cat or your horse, whatever. I will be this animal for you in this lifetime to help you wipe that karma clean. So when you're incarnated, this animal comes into your life at some point. And if you still harm that animal again, you have to come back and do it again until you get it right. And it keeps redoing. And it's not going to be a horse every time. It's not going to be a cat every time. It's going to be something different. That's how that works. And when I found that out, I was like, wow. That was a lot to take in and a lot to understand. It's a fact. And to those that abuse animals, if you don't stop and look at these little beings, whether it be a cow or a mouse, if you stop and you care for one deeply enough and pay attention to that little animal or big animal, you'll see that it's got a personality. You'll see that it's got feelings. You will see that if you accidentally step on this little dog, it'll yelp in pain because it hurt. They care. They don't like mean people. They'll bark at them and try to even bite them. They have souls, and they do have higher selves. And to me, that was, well, I knew they had souls. I knew that, but I did not know they had a higher self. I didn't know I had a higher self. I knew I had a soul, but I didn't know I had a higher self. Make contracts with these animals also. So when I realized that these animals do a contract with us so we could get our act straight, that changed my way of thinking. That allowed me to understand why God allows animal abuse. He's not actually allowing it as in saying, here's your dog, beat the crap out of it. That's not what he does. He watches over the whole universe, and then there's extraterrestrials that create these worlds and monitor us. No way did they say, here's this, abuse it. Here's this child, beat it and murder it, you know. It is us making these contracts saying, hey, I'll be your target this time. You know, treat me as you will, but get your act straight this time, because next time it's my turn. I hope that makes sense to you. But yes, since my awakening, I have come to know this. I have no limitations on religion whatsoever. I lean more toward Buddhism, although all religion is one. The humans have titled them all and said, you know, for instance, Pentecostal can't cut their hair and you can't watch TV. So we're going to cut this little piece of pie of religion and call it our own. And then Baptists cut their little piece of pie and called it their own. And that's how religions become more than one. But it's actually all one. People just kind of distorted them to their own beliefs. God's going to love you with long hair or short hair, or even if you're bald. Just, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I wanted to put this topic out there to share my knowledge and why I'm not agnostic anymore. And I believe in more than just God nowadays. I know there's so many more beings out there, bad and good. So that's the topic for this video. In case you're wondering why we're in the same clothes again, it's because I just did a video earlier. So I'm headed home. I went and got my crystals that I said my last video I was going to go get. In case you missed that video and you don't know what I'm talking about. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Today is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's. And I hope you guys had a great Christmas too. I love you all, and I'll be moving in my apartment soon, and I will be doing more videos. I love you guys. I'm sending you love, light, and peace. Bye.